My apologies, you guys. I'm actually here. Sorry about that. I'm late and everything. Give me a second. Just a second. Get this turned down here. Man, I hope everybody's having a good day. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world, right? And I just had the most weirdest experience, a minute ago. Literally, that's why I'm late. I try to, especially when I schedule these lives in advance, I'm trying to do these on time, right? Helps build rapport with people and, trust with people that a bitch is going to be live when she says she's going to be live, right? So anyway, I'm trying to get everything prepped up and ready to go before my live, and I gotta get me some food, get me some ordered or cook me up a little something, something. It's a little difficult to cook for one person, but I mean, typically, I dine on a lot of tacos and shit like that. I mean, it ain't too hard, but you get what I'm saying. I had to get my night settled, had to get my bed ready, had to get showered up. It's been a long day at work. I want to get all this knocked out before I come live to talk to you guys, especially about the stock market, right? Which I think it's quite obvious that we are going into a bear market. I think the years of all those nice gains that we have experienced, oh yeah, they're slowing down. And with that, Bitcoin's going to slow down too. So things, are going to become specials and sales and deals, right? Microsoft stock definitely went on sale today. But yeah, like before I even get into that, because I want to actually show you what the market's actually looking like after hours. It was kind of crazy because, I scheduled this live to start at 6 o'clock. And so I ended up ordering, okay, some Thai food. I like Thai food. I like authentic Thai food, preferably. I can't do no Indian food though. They're not the same. Okay. But no, I can't do that Indian food. Thai food, I love. Specific, I really like a good tom kha, which is a type of soup, lemongrass coconut soup. I like that. I like sticky rice. There's a beef salad that's typically made, in a way, basically made with like basil and mint and onion and that sort of thing. It's delicious. Um, and then, of course, you've always got your traditional basil fried rice, right? It's like the moment that I ever tried basil fried rice, I never touched Chinese food ever again. And that is no lie. That is no lie. But it's crazy because I'm getting, like I said, I'm getting myself prepared, getting prepped up, all this type of stuff. And all of a sudden my front door opens. And this dude is looking at me and I'm looking at him. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing walking in my house? What is going on here? He's got my food in his hand. But he's not the Uber driver, though. He didn't drop the food off. This fool looks at me and says, oh, I'm in the wrong house. I'm like, you do realize that you're in Texas, right? I'm telling you, if it hadn't been for the grace of God, anything could have happened, right? I mean, that man could have came at me, attacked me in this place, man. Would I have even had time to get to my pistol? Like I'm thinking all that type of stuff. Like, number one, why the fuck? How did you just walk in my house like this? Well, that's what happens when you're prepping and, throwing trash away and doing this, going in and out, and you don't lock your fucking door behind you immediately. Lesson learned, right? Of course, that ain't a lesson really that I need to be learning. You know, I had additional things I had to do actually. I planned on actually going back outside. And, again, but still, like, dude, how you just gonna just walk up in my fucking house? What is going on? Oh, I'm in the wrong house. Yeah, you sure are. That could have been a really dangerous situation for me and for him. Now, what if, just what if, God forbid, that man would have came in here and raped and killed me or some crazy shit like that? Nobody would have known shit. Never seen the guy before, you know? Or what if it would have been the other way around and he would have got his dome peeled back? Never met the dude in my life. Don't know nothing about the dude. I'm still sitting up here shocked like a bitch. This is exactly why, man. Like, even if you do have a firearm, you gotta always keep that bitch right on your hand, right on hand, man. It'd be those moments like that where you may not even have the 5 seconds that you would need to get to that firearm to protect yourself. Not to mention if you got that bitch on lock. And of course, I recommend a safety lock and all that type of stuff, especially if you got kids around. But if you're a grown person in the house by yourself and there's no children around and there's no children coming around like that, it could go on safety, but all that other shit, no, I'm good on that. But like, also too, I'm like, why would you just walk up in somebody's house like that? Talking about you at the wrong house. You didn't know you was at the wrong house when you was standing at the front door? Like, I feel like there's just something more to that. There's something more to that. And I don't know exactly what it is. Dude gave me a real weird vibe. So yeah, man, I apologize. I was late, but that's why. Cause after all that happened, man, it's been kind of a crazy day for me anyway, to be honest. I've been so disappointed in my zone order. I ended up just telling them to take that shit back and talking about, they said they were going to ship my stuff yesterday and it was going to be here today. And then I finally get the dates and no, they're talking about June and July. As I said, nah, man, you go ahead and cancel that. I went ahead and went right on Amazon. My shit will be here tomorrow. Like, nobody got time for that shit. So yeah, it's just been crazy. And then this happens. But I don't know. Something was really weird about that. I don't know what it was. But I'm gonna tell you this. I will say this to you people out here that like to play games. If any one of y'all call yourself trying to play a game, sending people to my fucking house, you it's not gonna be no fun. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none, right? Because that's just not some shit I'm about to play. Yeah, I'll be out here doing all sorts of crazy, stupid, crazy shit. I've seen it all. I don't portray myself in no certain sector of anything. I do me. I'm in the LEQ sector, right? So yeah, you play some shit like that with me, and it's gonna be a real big motherfucking problem. That man is lucky he didn't get shot. He really is. Anyway, on top of all that, right? So, let's talk stock market. Stock market has been fucking brutal, right? It has been brutal as hell. Even crypto's been taking a hit, right? I think last time I checked, what was it? I think we were down to 38K on BTC, right? Let me check. Hold on. Yeah. Damn, we're about to hit 37K. Jeez. In the last 24 hours, we're down over $2,000 on BTC. But I have faith in Bitcoin. I do. I have faith in cryptocurrency. I don't have faith in the United States government that's going to try to regulate it, which is going to be absolutely impossible to do. That's the reason it was designed the way that it was designed. The real creator of Bitcoin won't even admit it. A lot of us think we know who the real creator of Bitcoin is, but this individual has always wanted to remain anonymous and has more Bitcoin than, very rich, very, very rich, right? But the market, man, there's no question in my mind, because I do watch the stock market pretty close, and everything from inflation that we've been seeing, and even the way the stock market has been acting, right? It's been a downward trend, not upward. We ain't going up. We've been going down. Slowly but surely. We go down, then we come back up a little bit, then we come right on back down, And it's been like major brutal days. We're talking stocks like Apple taking $6 hits in a day. Stock is $156 a share right now. Lost 2% of its value today. And it ain't even just been today. It's been several days of this. Like since December, we have had quite a few days actually of just brutal beatdowns. So you've got home prices completely out of fucking control, right? Even here in Dallas. Can't even buy a nice home unless you have $500,000 now. What I look like at 44 years old going and signing for a 30-year mortgage. What do I look like doing some shit like that? That's why, I always say, I do things a little differently. But I'm not about to do that. I refuse. That's basically the rest of my life. And then it still ain't going to be mine anyway, right? Because we got to pay taxes on the land. No, man, I'm going to go buy me some land. I'm going to put my little tiny home on there, and I'm building that barn dominium. Don't give a fuck. If it's got a house on it that I can fix up, well, great. But my goal is already established in my mind, and that's what the fuck I'm going to do. There's no way I'm going to be paying a mortgage at 74 years old. I hope I'm not even working at 74. God knows I may not even live to see 74. Maybe if I was with somebody who, actually helped pay half the fucking bills and it wasn't always on my shoulders, then maybe that'd be a different story, but that's just not the case. Shit. So no, and it would still be in question. What do I look like signing some paperwork for a 30-year mortgage at the age of 44? And that's why I keep trying to tell like my family members, a specific family member, she know who she is. Oh, my credit ain't this. My credit ain't that. Nobody's is when they first start out. But I tell you what, you don't want to wait too long. You already about to be 30. Think about this. It's going to be a 30-year note. It means you're going to be 60 years old when you pay that bitch off. You got to start young. You got to. And if you're saving in 401ks and doing all that type of stuff, you got to start young. if you can. But the stock market is just like brutal. Even cruise stocks have been taking pretty big hits. I mean, they were coming back there for a minute, but but speaking, let me tell you guys about this. This is something you need to know. You guys remember Tillery, Canopy Growth, cannabis stocks, right? When they were released out on the stock exchange, you could buy them OTC, right, over the counter. Well, Canopy Growth, I don't know the whole story. I'd have to go and do some research and all that kind of fun stuff, but some went down with Canopy Growth, and I actually did buy some cannabis stocks when they first came out or whatnot. But they were clear pump and dumps, and I got up out of there, and I'm so glad I got up out of there without really any huge loss, to be honest. It's crazy because they got a whole lockout period, right? IPO, lockout period, all this sort of thing, and it's just that, to watch, like, even right now, Tillery. I remember when Tillery like within an hour hit like 2 something a share, right? I think Tillery's worth like $6 a share right now. So imagine all the people that have lost all that money. Well, there were 3 big cannabis stocks that were, getting pumped out, and Tillery was one and Canopy Growth was another. Well, there is a class action lawsuit. I actually got a note in the mail. Obviously, I hate it when I get shit like that in the mail because it's like, God damn, you know? Obviously, the way they link these databases, right? Well, the hell did you even how the hell do you even think I lived here? Why are you sending this to me? But obviously it was correct. And it ain't on Evergreen. Okay. Dumb motherfucker. Stupid ass. Ugh. But yeah, like something pretty major went down, and Canopy has actually agreed to settle in a class action lawsuit. We're talking $30 million. I believe uh, some of the plaintiffs, I guess you would call them plaintiffs, right? Are going to be receiving settlements up to like $30,000 a piece. Listen, I don't know, but if you purchased any sort of Canopy Growth, Tillery, any sort of cannabis stocks when they were really hot back in like 2018, 2019, 2020 timeframe, you need to look into that and see if this is something that may affect you, because you may be up for a settlement. And I actually am exploring that. I would pull it out right now, but because a lot of times, I don't pay attention to that type of stuff because, that's almost like, let me put myself on a wait list for the next 5 years so I can get me a Section 8 house. Like, what the fuck am I going to do that for? You know? By the time, 5 years comes around, there's no telling where you might be in life, right? So yeah, I don't really get involved in a lot of that type of stuff, but I need to explore it some more and wanted to make y'all aware of it because there was a lot of people investing and talking about those stocks, those cannabis stocks specifically. And the thing about them, they're not even United States stocks. They're from Canada. They just got listed on the New York Stock Exchange, but as an OTC though, over the counter. So let's kind of talk about stock a little bit here. So there was a pretty amazing move I watched happen today, right? As I pay attention to all the tech stocks, right? Call them FANG. And I'm watching all day long. I'm just pissed because I'm like, motherfucker, like at this point, I think I need to rebalance my portfolio because I can't just keep taking these losses like this. But it's the name of the game, right? It's great when we're winning, but when the stocks are, dropping, of course it doesn't feel good, right? But it's like, come the fuck on. This is ridiculous. I mean, it's not typical, okay, that you watch Microsoft stock drop $10 in a single day. That is just not typical. It's not typical to watch Apple stock drop 6 and 7 and $8 in a single day. That's not normal. Completely whacked out, right? Amazon over $133 drop. Like Eh, and what's kinda really scaring me, I ain't even gonna lie, is how I love the fact that crypto is integrating into, the normal flow of things. I just don't want crypto to start leading things because it ain't ready. It's a lot of pump and dumpers out there. Have you seen the list of cryptocurrencies out there? There's over 10,000 cryptocurrencies, and a lot of those were created as pump and dumps. Man, if I really wanted to, like, be a rotten scoundrel and make some easy money years ago, I coulda came up with cryptocurrency after cryptocurrency, wrote up a white paper, got it through, published the token, orphaned the chain, and boom. Find me somebody to help me promote it, I'll give you a percentage or whatever, boom, we're millionaires. That's what a lot of people did. And oh, yeah, it's great sometimes to have the knowledge to be able to do that. But you know what? I sleep well at night not doing shit like that because every bit of my money, I got the honest way. So God knows if I was to do it in the dishonest way, what would he punish me? How would he punish me? Right. But yeah, I mean, and I could have did it time over time over time over time over time. Like, like, seriously, it's orphan the chain, slap a feature on it or take away a feature because there's only, you can only give or take so much, right? We're gonna do this, we're gonna make transactions faster, blah, blah, blah. Write up your white paper, submit it, boom, you got your cryptocurrency. Give it a name. Try to get it listed on Coinbase if you can, because you damn sure gonna pop if you get it on Coinbase. But even if you can't get it on Coinbase, you could at least try Kraken or Bitfinex, y'all. But I don't know. Bitfinex is kind of known for being a little shady, right? The whale pool guys out there. I don't even think they talk live on doing their trading anymore. All that illegal ass shit they was doing. A lot of crazy stuff going on, a lot of illegal trading, a lot of playing around in those exchanges, a lot of money going into those exchanges, money's not coming out, people not getting their money back. I've seen so many videos where people were like, Bitfinex, give me my money. Bitfinex was eventually shut down, by the way. And I think there's still an investigation ongoing. And shout out to Bitfinex out there on Twitterverse and Twitterland because he single-handedly took them down. His name is Bitfinex. It's basically trolled them, right? Instead of Bitfinex, he calls himself Bitfinex. But he, very intelligent guy, spoke on a lot of even the tethering, right? Because Bitfinex and some of the other leaders of, I mean, because back then you really didn't even have like a lot of leaders in the cryptocurrency world, right? It's good to see some good solid ones standing up now, trying to do right and trying to embrace crypto. I absolutely love it. But back then, it just Wasn't like that back then. And we're talking the same company that owns Bitfinex owns Tether, which is not one-to-one with the US dollar. And if you were to actually do a little research behind Tether, it may fucking scare you. If you ever looked, just do a crypto compare. Go out to like crypto.com and look at the top 5 cryptos. And guess what you're going to see in the top 5? You're going to see Tether. The only problem is Tether's not really a crypto. It's just what you trade into so that you can exchange your crypto with that particular exchange. Anyway, it gets deep. All right. And I ain't really here to talk about crypto today. I'm here to talk about this crazy move on the market today. I think at the one point the Dow was down, I want to say 600 points, right? Every tech stock taking a hit. Every single one of them. Now, at one point, and I'm just going to pick on Microsoft because earnings happened today for Microsoft. And I believe Google as well, right? Didn't Google release earnings today? I believe. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's another very interesting thing I should probably let y'all know. Today, okay, the NASDAQ seen the biggest daily drop since September of 2020. So that ought to tell you right there, right? A bitch has been nervous all day. Like, how much longer is this going to go on, right? Tesla, it was $1,000 the other day. We're at 876 now that Elon Musk has said he's going to buy Twitter for like $40 billion or some crazy number like that, right? That's going to be interesting. Twitter's been the most probably freest social media app. God only knows what he's going to do with it. I don't know. But it sounds like Jack is down, you know. But on top of the fact, okay, that Google, and I'm just taking Google for this example, dropped $74.88 today during its trading day and ended the day at $23.90.12. After the market closed, and it is about to be 7, and it's about to be post-market close here in about 1 minute. It dropped another $80 fucking dollars. Boom. Post-market just closed. So there's no more trading. And that's the thing about being able to trade in the morning, early in the morning, and post-market. You can actually trade after the market closes, and you can trade before the market actually opens really bright and early in the morning. And there's a lot of plays that happen during those times, right? There's a lot of money getting made, a lot of games getting played, okay? But not only did we lose $74, but then after the market closed, Google dropped an additional $80. Like, damn. How much more are we supposed to take of this? It almost feels manufactured, feels engineered. Like the rich people felt like, oh, these people are making too much money with stocks. We got to do something about this. No, they're getting too much power. And now you got Tesla at a cool 876. You know, it'd be really nice if Elon would just focus on Tesla. He wants to go to Mars. He wants to buy Twitter. And it's really crazy to me because to me, I don't really celebrate the fact that he's wanting to buy Twitter. Number one, he's not black. Okay. All we have is white men owning these huge social media networks. I have yet, and I've been saying it and I've been calling for it for years. We need black owned social media platforms. Why does Instagram have to be owned by a white person? Why does Twitter need to be owned by a white person? Why does Facebook have to be owned by a white person? You get what I'm saying? You can get where I'm going with this? But the thing is, it's like, I don't know if people don't believe in themselves or whatever, but all it takes is just get yourself a couple developers, get some ideas going, get some marketing going. It could happen. So, man, if it was like Snoop Dogg buying Twitter or something like that, then yeah, I'd be pretty damn happy. But nah, Elon Musk, no thanks. It's straight like this. They asked Elon, right? He's the main proponent of let's go to Mars, right? We're going to go to Mars. We're going to send people to Mars. But the question is, are you going to go to Mars, sir? You want to send a crew of people to go live and supposedly terraform a whole nother planet, right? And how are you going to terraform it? Well, bomb it with a nuclear weapon. Like, dude, do you realize how dumb you sound right now? Like, when he was asked straight up, are you going to go to Mars with your crew? That you're the one you're sending. He said, hell no. You think Elon's about to leave the comforts of Earth? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? No, that's not happening. That tells me right there the type of leader he is. He ain't really one. He's one of them people, he wants you to do what he wants you to do, but lead? I don't think so. He's not willing to put in the work that he asks of others. And if you're supposed to be a leader and, you won't even put in the work that you're asking other people to do, that tells me everything I need to know about you. That I need to stay like 10,000 feet away from you because you just are not the type of character that I want to know. It's like, mm-mm. But so earnings happened, and earnings are huge days, right? On the stock market. On stock market days, when companies report their earnings, they report a lot of things with their earnings. I don't think anybody was surprised. I think it was Google and Microsoft was the two. And I'm telling you, this whole like rest of this week and next week, it's going to be a whole bunch of earnings coming out, right? Of a bunch of tech stocks. So these were the two that I'm aware of that dropped earnings today, right? And there's no question, right, about Microsoft's earnings. They're going to absolutely beat them. And they did. They beat earnings like across the fucking board. It was crazy, right? They don't drop earnings in the middle of the day. They wait for the market to close, right? The whole time, by the time the market closed, Microsoft stock was down $10.80, right? Really unheard of for Microsoft. It's just not usually the way they trade, right? Them earnings drop was what at 270, right? Let's see, it was 270. Oh, that thought. Yeah. Huh. Now they got it as a strong buy, huh? Ain't that interesting? But I'll say this. Thank God I bought a couple of calls. I waited till the end of the day, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm not about to even expand on that. But I definitely bought a couple of calls, waited till the end of the day. You always want to buy calls on red days and you want to buy puts on green days. There's reasons for that. Don't have all the time in the world to sit here and explain it, but I can tell you that after hours, as of right now, I think we are at, what is the stock at now? Because when the market stopped out, okay, We're talking 270.22. Now keep in mind, it's kind of nuts because we've been seeing 340s, 330s, 320s on Microsoft stock. Just go back 6 months and look at how it has failed. That's how you can tell there's a bear market coming, recession. I think that it may be very smart to consider keeping some cash around. And don't forget that if you got gold and shit like that, man, melt that shit down and make yourself a toilet or even a trash can out of it. It- It's not a dumb idea, believe me. First off, who you ain't gonna let nobody piss in your gold toilet, I hope. But even if they do, you know, but the point is you can melt that down and obtain cash flow. And when cash money burns up, I mean, you don't see none of it anyway. What's going to be left? Minerals, gold, silver, right? That's why you see people like Donald Trump with gold toilets in their houses and gold sinks and gold fixtures and shit like that. Like, that's why those white people think like that because they know. But as of right now, so the market ends or closes, Microsoft has dropped over $10 to $270.22. As soon as the news of earnings started moving around after hours, Microsoft is now up to $282.88. It's up over 12 bucks. It's going to be a nice little piece of money in the morning when them calls get sold. Right? Because that's the play. Basically, they call it an earnings play, but earnings plays aren't really plays you want to do all the time because a lot of times you'll think earnings might be great, but it don't always play out like that. But there's just something about the mood in the market, and it's like Microsoft was carrying the whole freaking market today. So that's why I say that. But you know, for those of you that were lucky enough to buy you some call options, I hope you bought as close to or in the money or at least at the money. I don't do call options out of the money. I've learned my lessons from that many years ago. I'm either going to be in the money when I buy that option or I'm going to be right at the money when I get that option. Okay. That's it. That's all. But hopefully, we'll see after this beatdown. Maybe stocks will go up some more tomorrow. But the one thing I do know, those calls are going to be sold first thing tomorrow morning. I'm not going to sit on them calls at all day tomorrow, hoping and praying the price keeps going up. I could give a damn less if the price keeps going up. I'm going to take advantage of the fact that it went up already. I'm going to want my money out of it. And if I want to play games like that, then I'll just hold some stock. Shit. Yeah. I'm not even going to play that game. Don't ever play that game, especially if you're doing earnings plays and stuff. No. Get your money, boo boo, and get it first thing. As soon as the market opens, have that sale order ready to go. But what's kind of concerning, like I said, Google also released earnings, right? I just, mm, I really feel like we are about to go into a recession, and the cost of inflation and all that sort of a thing is not helping at all. At all. The cost of a pound of hamburgers $10 now, and But overall, I think, what I always say is I try to stay positive about all these things. I mean, I will say this, excuse me, I will say this, that it does appear that this earnings beat by Microsoft, which they beat it across the board. Azure, numero uno. Azure is huge. It's just like watching all of those jobs get created when Microsoft Exchange came out all those years ago. It's the same thing with Azure. It's a lot of new engineers coming out, learning Azure, and all that fun stuff. And there's a lot of new jobs, technical jobs being created. These are the times where, without experience, you can actually land somewhere and make six figures as long as you're willing to learn it. But see, there's just not a lot of people willing to actually sit down and learn because the trade off, it takes them too long. But whatever. But I can tell you this, Apple closed out at 156.80, right? It's down $6. Post market, they're up. The ask is 163, which is that's good. That means that because Apple didn't have earnings today, so that means that the earnings from Microsoft have also went over into the Apple space. I hope, basically what I'm saying is I really hope we see a green day tomorrow on the stock market. And if you did buy calls because and you wanted to do an earnings play like this and you did buy a few call options, especially, Microsoft has become notorious for always beating, but I mean, they beat really good this time, like killed it. Um, if you want to do earnings plays like that, don't sit around and hold them calls all day tomorrow. Like that price is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're going to make more and more money. Just make your money. There's other strategies that you can devise, but I'm not your financial advisor either. Okay. So you do whatever you feel like you got to do. Okay. But I ain't going to be holding no call options at all tomorrow. Mm-mm. Nope. I'm going to hit that peak because you know what I think's going to happen? What I think's going to happen is people are going to see the price of the stock and they know everybody's been taking a beating and they're going to sell that shit because they want to sell it while it's up and it's going to drive the price right back down. So no, I'm not going to be holding on to no call options all day. These are all lessons you learn as you trade through life, though. Shout out to my daddy. He taught me a lot of this. He did. Even though, some people didn't think that, I guess, that I deserved him, huh? Always trying to make decisions, their own decisions about what they think is right. Not thinking about the other person's feelings, why they shit all over people and treat them like shit. But that's a sublim, and I'll leave that there. But needless to say, it's just crazy. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But I really, really think that it is possible that we may see some sort of recession. I really do feel that way. It's just the way that things are feeling. There's been so many down days. I don't know. It's like sometimes too, like delays seem to happen and stuff like that. But yeah, it wasn't 600 points, y'all. It was 800 points. My bad. The Dow fell 800 points on recession fears. Other people are fearful of recession as well. And Morgan Stanley very well-known, financial advisor firm has very clearly said that the S&P 500 will fall sharply and join an ongoing bear market. They're basically saying we're already in a bear market, and I feel what they're saying. It's definitely, the bulls ain't exactly trampling and coming out on top right now, but it is what it is. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. Mostly overall, just how insanely ridiculous these stocks are. And like, I remember when Ulta, the makeup store, was like $2,000 a share, some crazy number. I think they split or something, but anyway, now it's like $400 a share. It's crazy. It's nuts. But too, I look at Tesla, right? It was just at like $1,100 a share. Um, this is why you always have a stop loss set, right? If it hits a certain, amount, then boom, you drop it or whatever. But listen, it's like, have you guys seen some of these Teslas though? Have you ever actually been, in a Tesla? It's pretty badass. And truth is, if you don't, like, I mean, with the world changing the way that it is, with all like the work from home and all that type of thing, like if you're not really doing that so much, and you know, I mean, they're even giving away free solar panels and Tesla chargers. You guys, if you live in certain states, you need to check into that. Why pay the electricity company when they're giving you free solar panels, right? We know that nothing's for free, but this is something the government is doing. Y'all should look into it, because that's something I know that when I build my home that I'll be putting in as solar panels. I wish I would pay TXU $600 a month. They already be ripping off people like crazy. No, we get enough sun in Texas. Get you some solar panels. Generate yourself some free electricity. Like, come on. Shit. Good luck to all. But yeah, like these, what is it? TXUs, and there's a couple of electric companies. They just be ripping people off, man. It's just bad. It's really bad. And a lot of times the summertime comes, people got to have their AC, especially down here in Texas. And then for long, I mean, I remember getting $800, $900 electric bills in the summer when my kids was growing up. And I don't know. Sometimes I look back and I don't know how the hell I made it through some of the shit that I made it through. Because I damn sure didn't have no help. I can sit here and say that. I damn sure didn't have no type of help raising them kids, like at all, financially, no nothing. Just a bitch doing what she had to do. I don't know how I made it through some of that stuff. That's crazy. I think too, it's just always a lesson for everybody that no matter what it is, you will get through it. You will. Some kind of way. You will. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just like, man, how did I get through that? It's crazy. Looking back now. Mm. Anyway, listen, I was going to go live again tonight, and I was going to do a panel, actually, my first Leak You Paranormal stream. Well, yeah, it would be the first one because I've only uploaded some channel art over there. But I'm pushing that off till tomorrow for sure. Especially after like today, this weirdo just trying to like walk into my house like that. That was fucking weird. I'm just not even in the mood with it at this point. But I just modified it. So I'll see y'all tomorrow at 8 o'clock when I do that one. Basically, the topic on that one is UAP capsules, unidentified aerial capsules. There appears to be some very strange capsules where there is a being controlling it, flying it almost like a drone. Not to mention, there's also a fleet of UFOs seen leaving the moon recently. It's a lot of very interesting footage, like night cam footage. The type of footage you look at in the nighttime. It looks green basically, but there's a lot of things that you see in night cam footage that you would not see if you didn't have that night cam footage on. You put that night cam footage on and you point it to the sky, you're going to see something really, really interesting stuff. Let me tell you. There are things on this world that cannot be explained, and that's just the way that it is. It's just the way that it is. So that's what I'll be talking about tomorrow. So in the interim, I hope you guys have a really good rest of your day. Shout out to the Twitchers. Much love. Y'all always be coming through for a bitch. I appreciate you. Man, listen. Keep your head up. Eat good tonight. I'll be. Bye, guys. Until next time, I'll holler at y'all.